U2 yard was good. Well, the journey continues. Roll to the level fours, 180, baby. Well, I've arrived. I'm in the big leagues now, bro. Tehachapi B yard, 180. It was a no good yard. I was privy to this information before I left Pleasant Valley. One of my road dogs who I pulled a pinochle with in, I pulled a Boston in pinochle with. This is a true story. There was a wood that owed us like $40 in canteen, or just $40. And I'm a sports guy. I'm a sportsologist. For some reason that year, something was giving me the feels about Denver. That squad they had, any sports heads. I'm not a Broncos fan, but my team is 2-0 currently right now. So, and they're not from California, but the quarterback is Central California. So yeah, so I picked Denver to win the Super Bowl all the way, and I had this final score of 55, which the final score was 31-24, 55 points. But I transpacked out of the blue to Tehachapi B yard, 180. Cartoon gave me the rundown. It's a no good yard, homie. I'm hearing you got 90 days to get up out of there. This will be a quick one because for the most part it went well. Excuse me. I think there was a Melendez brother there. This was 90. This had to be late 97, early 98, bro, because I was in a hole when I heard the finals. I was in a hole. Excuse me, I was in a hole when I was in the when the finals was on. My bad. When I got to Tehachapi, I heard the Super Bowl out of the reception module, the reception dorm, before you got assigned a block and a bunk. That's what happened. And that's where I heard the Super Bowl. The CEOs put it in the TV loud enough for us to be able to hear it. Other than that, standard procedure, man. Me and my celly, we were cool at times. I think we bumped heads once or twice. I think he was getting a little bit nervous, bro, because he was going home. I think he had about a year and a half left, and I think most of his time was 4 yards. He was a West Sider, but we still bumped heads a little bit. But he did give me the rundown on what the program was. The program was in the 4 yards. That's when I really started doing burpees and shit, working out with him. Sometimes I could hang, sometimes I couldn't. For the most part, a good celly. I did fuck up one time because we were kind of like, man, you get a celly and, sometimes you bump heads on some petty shit. So it's kind of bumping heads. And I didn't know he was being serious. He was like, damn, it was mandatory. And I didn't go. And so, like, another West Sider, good West Sider, though, the homie comes up, hey, Bams, what happened, bro? How come you didn't come to day room? I go, nah, I just, was chilling in the cell. No, it's mandatory, right? Your celly told you? I go, yeah, he did, bro. He did tell me, but I kind of thought he was not necessarily bullshit and just fucking around. And he goes, nah. So he just ran over the rules again. I says, okay, you know what, homies, my celly did pretty much run me down on all of that. My bad. It won't happen again. That was about it. That's the only little controversy. Not even that. So after that, it was good. We knew we had to get up out of there. Me and my celly were back on in favor due to an Aerosmith song that I kind of like. I forgot which one it is. I'll try to remember. Other than that, no, we were back on good terms. We were cool and shit. So, but I remember watching, we were watching, Tehachapi had LA TV stations. And one time we were watching local LA news. And he was like, hey, man, I think we should just hurry up and get up out of here. I go, what do you mean? Aren't you getting comfortable? I'm getting a little bit too comfortable. Everything's LA. He hadn't gotten a visit in a long time, like in 6 years, and he got one. I was getting them every other weekend. I guess the Hatchet from LA is not that far, I guess. And he was like, man, let's just get out of here. You still got like 3 more years. After this, you're a level 4 pound. You ain't going back down to a 3 yard. And I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to, parole. What do you want to do? I was like, well, let's just get the fuck up out of here. So we measured in a way how we were going to do this. And so we got the information. Mission somewhat accomplished. The fight and the shenanigans went down into the day room, down the stairs, and the tower blasted once. I got down. I think 25 Center tried to get up, and when he got up, she shot again. It was weird. Like, she was trigger happy, and that was it. Her line of sight was my celly and dude. I went back to the cell, was chilling. Now we were there a month and a half, maybe on the yard, dude. About a month and a half. I don't even think I went to canteen, dude. I don't think I even made it to canteen from the main line, because I was second draw, J77 or 37. So when we got to I think we might have been on lockdown one of the times. Wasn't there that long. I wasn't even there 90 days, bro. This is a quick turnaround. I spent most of my time in the hole. I think my celly and I made a good call, primarily him. It was a lightweight incident. We couldn't really get what we needed, so we had to use a makeshift. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, like maybe 2 hours, bro. They come up to the cell and gaffle me up. You know, again, I didn't really have anything of, at that time we were still smoking in 97. I didn't even have tobacco. We were getting a little bit of tobacco at a time from homies in other cells, other dorms, other blocks or sections. We go to the hole basically for fucking, dude, I don't even remember. I got to High Desert in 98. I do know that. So I don't even think I was in Tehachapi a year. Almost a year, right? January, because the Super Bowl, hearing it in the reception yard. And I heard the finals in the hole. So somewhere after the finals, I got to High Desert, because I saw it. I go things by sports. I remember Denver, Atlanta, the Super Bowl. So I wasn't even there a year. It was cool in the hole. I was in a hole for a while. That's where I was saying some of the homies, one or two of the homies would always say, "Clown, where you from? Where's that at?" I gave the history of my origin story, where I'm from. I figure I'll leave it there. Gave a little history on a little bit of Tiger shit. Don't think I'll go back to that. So joke around every now and then. Where's your hood at? Fool, never heard of it. But it's just between me and him. We joke around. He was from IE. I was in and out, dude. Was not about to stay there any longer than I should have. It was getting a little bit too comfortable. Everything was LA. The Grand Slam breakfast was the best. And I believe their biscuits and gravy was the best at Tehachapi. Just doing, working out in the cell, Mando, good shenanigans with the homies, communicating through the cells, homies playing chess. We did have to flood the section a few times. If I tell you the reason why, okay, one of the homies somebody was mad about not getting menus. Okay. Oh, here was another one. I was clowning with one of the homies, and I made fun of the way he said Buenos Dias, and then another homies did too. And then the homie that had the block calls to basically second in command, one of my road dogs from IE. He gets on a vent. He goes, "Hey, fool, you can't be making fun of the Buenos Dias." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, you can't be making fun of the fucking Buenos Dias." And he calls out to my son, "You didn't tell this fool?" He goes, "I didn't really think of it." He's like, "Batman, you got to do 1,013, bro." And I did, what? Integrity, homies. I did them. I did all 1,013, and my celly just busting up. I had a different celly at the time from somewhere. I remember the homie's name. He was from Norwalk. One of the Norwalk warriors. He was white. Good dude. Other than that, man, hey, I read a lot of fucking books. The best book I ever read, The Alienist by Khalib Carr. I think they made a TV show out of it on TNT. I didn't like it. I'm not really much to say at Tehachapi, bro. There was some homies got beat up, in the hole. I basically got like a suspended shoe by the end of it, dude, because it was like, I don't know, 6 months. I saw the World Cup. Well, I didn't see the World Cup I read and heard about the World Cup in Tehachapi. So that was summer '98. See what I'm saying? So I must have got to High Desert late '98 by football season already. They got covered everything, dude. You know what? They did have some bag of chips that were fire. So I had to have made canteen at least one time, bro. I just don't remember, dude. Other than that, man, I think that's it for Tehachapi. Get to the beat. One of my homeboys did roll up, but he went to the A yard, which I believe that was a good yard. So yeah, I handled my business, went to a no good yard, and I got the fuck up out of there in the less than the amount of time required. I can't even remember the fucking yard. I could remember the yards in High Desert, but Tehachapi, like I said, I was in and out, man. In and out. Did the right thing. Got up out of there. Shit. That's it. That was my first go around in High Desert. Oh, before I go, that's where I had the communication of the origins of my neighborhood. That all went well. And it's more interesting in High Desert. But other than that, bro, Tehachapi was a quick pit stop. Again, Lopez J77037, just in case, you know. If you want to pull up my jacket or whatever. Your Star Wars, homie. You know what I'm saying? All right, homies, that's it. You guys have a good evening out there. Peace.